blessed good evening, good Thursday evening to each and everybody. We here so at the Up Inside Your Podcast. We here so in studio having a vibe. My man Gibbzydan in the building. We having a really good time. We love the fact that we can bring it to you each and every Thursday night at 8 p.m. here on Allery Media Productions. Big up he anywhere he is right now.
Big up.
Yeah, to the work. Alright, so people, another week gone. I could believe it was a week already that we did.
Yeah,
I believe
I feel so
Time
tough.
flying, but it still feel like it moving, so I know if that makes sense to anyone. But we got Gibbs out here. Give me 5 Gibbs. Boom, man. Alright, so I'll let everybody give a little shout out, and then we can get right into it, cause I'm a test and I got some questions for you all. And that's how we keeping it tonight. You got coming up for this year, because I know this man mind is something to behold. Something to behold. You good there, Gibbs?
Yeah.
Good, man. Alright, so people talk with the people there, man. Let me get it going.
Good night, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the stream. You know the normal procedure. Give us a like and a subscribe right there, right now, as you can see this.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yes. Good night, everybody. I know I hear so all the studio set up. And already so comfortable, but we can get here. We can get it started out soon. But thanks for coming in, and make sure that you tell a friend that we are on Up Inside There every Thursday at 8 p.m. live on YouTube and on Instagram.
Good night, people. Kate and Junior pretty much said anything. Like, subscribe, share.
Fox.
We OG live and everything? No, not tonight. We ain't doing that OG tonight. But that means then that we can go to let the people know to head over to YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. YouTube is where it's at. So let me keep it moving. Gibbs, I can start with a nice light question. Let me get you water here first before you chew.
Yeah.
Why you don't want Dale people in the
That's how we start.
Alright. I start. Let me do a redo. Gibbs,
I'm ready.
what going on with you, man? How was your Christmas and how was the old years into the New Year's? How was that going for you and your family?
Christmas was cool, man. It was good to hear Christmas Camp on the radio again.
Big up Christmas,
Big up
yeah.
that. Big up that song all the time. We want to make that staple like bumper song Christmas feeling, you know.
Yeah.
I want that song played every year. So
year.
when I hear that there, so media companies and whomever it is that's played, I want Christmas Scam on the radio every December, playing like clockwork. Don't play no Mariah Carey. Play local music. Thank you. Continue, Gibbs.
Yeah, so it was good to hear that on the radio, especially because the first time, it was getting the hype and the buzz off for the first time.
Yeah.
But for people to resurrect it now and play it again, I was like, okay, so this like it here to stay at least for the next few years.
Yeah, it was
So that was cool. In terms of Christmas itself, no, this year was a lot of labor up, because now when I live home with she decided to buy all kind of assembly type furniture and different appliances and stuff. So it was a lot of setting up in the ground with a
That's really
instruction manual, and you're just there like. You're ponging, you're twisting, you're pulling something wrong and gotta take it off now.
Yeah.
The little tears kind of your eye, or you spend half hour playing this song now, and you realize that something wrong because one of the holes wrong. So that was what Christmas was about this year.
You're finding
man.
right hole?
That and some good food.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with good.
Another brilliant sweet potato pie.
Alright, sir. So tell me, boy, you all in New Year's now. Tell me, you do anything for
I don't ever really do night for all years. That kind of way. For the last few years, we ended up dropping asleep once 11:45.
Cha.
Wake up at 1:30 and feel bad.
Cha.
So yeah.
Oh well, we'll try again next year.
But this time I make it.
Okay.
She was sleeping.
Okay. When you
But
say
yeah,
she,
man.
all the time, who's she?
Yeah, this one I live home with. This one I live home with.
Yeah, who's this?
Sorry, forget. I talking to
Yeah, you talking to the world.
Shakira Moore, the wife, man.
Yes.
Shakira Moore.
Yeah.
That's a big name. That's a big name. That name's so familiar. She's right but SARS, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two artists and a whole that gotta be a little clashy. How that life is like?
Honestly, because it's two different kinds of art, it don't clash too much.
Okay.
I feel like if she was a singer, because both of we performance artists now,
Right.
but she's a literary artist and stuff. So it's two different.
Room,
Yeah,
man.
but
Uh-huh.
she's required quiet to work. He's a noisy fella.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you gotta pick your moments,
Yeah.
and you gotta be considerate and stuff like that. So, but after all these years, man, we find ways to make that work in terms of when they want to keep noise, like when I send him the voice notes and
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
or cackling and thing, he's even go downstairs in car. If she need that space, or just left home or something.
Right.
So that's
That's
what
very
that's
sweet.
that's what it's like to be an artist in a household in 2022. Like,
Yeah.
they gotta find new ways and different ways to
Cause I got my process, you know.
yeah.
My process is a lot, vocalization and things. So I appreciate that. When I want to be in my element, cause she spend a lot of time at home. So it's about finding space for yourself. So I just left home and I'm gonna do my thing from the past or something.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, anybody got questions? You could feel free to chime in. You know.
Yeah,
You know, let me
yeah,
ask
yeah,
all because
yeah.
they got enough questions.
Yeah, I know
bro.
you just got them
Enough.
loaded.
All right. So COVID, we talking 2020. How did that affect your? All right. So when you making a song, what is your go-to? Like you're a person that needs to be outside, engaged with people to get a vibe, or you would stand up somewhere, watch people doing what they're doing, and then catch a vibe off a song and then start writing, or you're a person that could sit down in a studio, keep quiet, just hear a beat, and then you put words to that particular beat. Did that? First of all, which of them is your process?
Concepts just hit me all the time.
Okay.
And
So that's with or without people.
yeah, but in just living everyday life, things just hit you. I guess it's kind of like being a comedian, where you always collecting material.
Right.
And you will see something and you'll be like, oh, you that's funny. And you've got a truly filtering process of asking yourself first and foremost if this even worthy of being a concept.
Uh-huh.
And then sometimes some things don't make it, some things just make it. Some things you just start working on and halfway through you just realize it's here and we're really working on it. And I'm grateful for that ability to discern, because some people, whatever hit them is meant.
Uh-huh.
And I ain't dissing nobody, but I hear a lot of things that I tell myself, yeah, you can tell that person anything not true.
That should be one for the
That should have gone
for the
easy.
book of rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
And the lot of things that I write that the boy never hear.
Right.
Because I figure, man, this is strong enough.
And that was my next question though.
Yeah.
How many of them songs? How many books you would say that you got with them kind of unfinished? Because I would assume.
And then come back to it for like a whole year or a year and a half. Because the topic might have become relevant at this point in time now, more so than it was 2 years ago. You know, it's so much different things that's happened. Remember when I said that running water just give you ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the case with me too. So
Right.
much concepts hit me in the shower. You know, so sometimes I just go and be when they want.
But it was said, you know the people who heavily believe in astrology would say that you may be a water sign. So if you like,
The bull is a water sign.
What?
I mean,
Yeah,
the drink water.
I mean Taurus. You see, no, I thought we was big Gibbzydan, not
What's up?
I didn't want to bring too much coffee. I didn't want to bring too much attention to. We do that already for the year.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking about your process. What you would say is your most successful song?
Most successful song?
Yeah. It ever got big numbers, you know.
Well, as a solo artist, it would gotta be Christmas Scam.
Right.
Yeah.
I would put Van Day second.
Big up on this.
So we talking about commercial success.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? When you say success, what do you mean? In terms
Well, for me personally, success can mean a lot of different things. That's why I asked you the question for you to determine how you view success for any of your music, your songs. Cause there might go a song that you would say, man, I like this, but it may not go too far in your opinion, but then it take off. Because for some reason people like it, but you don't really love this song. But then there will go a song you really love that people just like, you like, that bar just jump over some boy head or,
Well, let me
I
say this. Which song was the most fun you had making?
Christmas Scam. I didn't want to argue. All I know is voice for that one. And DJ Kai, the young genius, that boy is 22 years old, or must be turning 23 this year. I'm producing for Stiffy and all kind of prolific artists. I'm making all kind of sick beats. That boy special here. But Chris,
let me ask you something. So you tried to segue into it kind of just before you went on to talking about your process.
I never hear you thought this
So
horrible.
based on your process and how you just internalize and then create, you still open with money?
Yeah, you want people some money, man. It stems from a true situation in a lot of ways.
Personal experience.
Except for the part with the pasta, I make it up part. But
Give me the story about that, man.
it was a case where a woman I didn't know and approached me with this proposition, man. I'm doing this thing here, just put 100 and get back 300 next week, and if you don't get back 9 next week, you get back $800. So I was like, oh, that can't hurt me then. I felt in 100, get back 3 next week. Somebody land in a Suzuki APV van and give me the envelope. I said, what?
Yeah, boy.
I thought it was a Sabina. I get this thing now, 300, and she was like, yeah, so we can reinvest this and da da da. And then that whole thing collapsed horribly, and a lot of people was in distress and dismay. And it was terrible. And a lot of people had put a lot of money into it because Bajans like to do quick math. So man was like, if $100, give me $300. Then $500 and give me $1,500 because the money just multiply itself, right? So whatever you put in, you just get back 3 times that amount, no matter what you do, who you is. So a lot of people do the quick maths and get afraid of like that, and it throw all that turmoil and torment and people crying out and thing. I said, nah, I ain't gonna make a song about it. It was.
So most elements of the story was true, like the group chat and all these other things. All that was.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why it was so funny for me. And then recording it was the best experience I had so far. And I record a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Recording that was one of the best experiences I ever had because you're in there and the fellas was not. They didn't hear all the lyrics yet. So I was recording it for the first time. So I drop in certain lines now. And you're hearing. Oh, I thought that was wood. And you're hearing boom, boom, boom. And people just like mashing up in the studio and thing. And especially the line with the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was real. I got hit though.
Yeah, man. So after that happened though, it was pandemonium in the studio. We the crying, laughing and thing. I love it. I really love that experience, man. I big up Chantal Martin, the young lady at the beginning that's be singing I Owe People Money in operatic fashion. Cause she's actually singing opera.
She's an opera
and stuff like that. So to get she vocals, but not immortalize that song. Forever, man.
That song.
Big up Hiraconda.
Instagram. Instagram's my girl.
That song is definitely a song, a staple note for sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it was like to be in the studio that day when you record that song.
You get on real estate, big man. Man, crying that thing.
Yeah. And before I try to go on, everybody's talking about the process and thinking about this material and stuff like that. You feel that from the last since December 27th going on to January 19th, you think you could get some material off of all of what has been going on in terms of elections and things?
There had times where I was thinking about writing songs, like when I had the Ash.
Yeah.
People were saying I should do an Ash song. And that's why I told one earlier, I just got determined for myself, I think it's strong enough. I trust myself at this point. I've been doing this long enough. So it don't matter what people tell me to write. If I ain't got something that I think could stand up, I don't bother my head. I start messing around with the Ash song, but I was like, why really wants it though? Like, I can sing about dying by a woman in the Ash, but I feel like that ain't the strongest thing I could do though. So in terms of this thing that I know,
Is it worth it though? That big loss.
Yeah, you've got
the politicians is not the politicians, the Sonians is really get hit, get some punchlines. Crop over
picking the crop based on commenting on
social
previous events in the political sphere and stuff. But this is what I decided to do because something that I know people that ask me the question, but after asthma dissolved and everything, and I decided I still want to make music, I asked myself, what lane I want to occupy? And I was looking at what was missing. Cause I was like, I want to bring something that people ain't getting all the time. And I realized that the storytelling was not really abundant at that point in time. And the way how Eric Lewis and Mad used to do it, I realized the boy wasn't doing it like that anymore. I always remember back in our time, it had to be 1999, around that time when the Viagra song come out. And they used to have the back in our time versus the rest of crop over as on Channel 8. And Eric Lewis, in the Viagra song, dropped one of the hardest punchlines, still to this day in page in history. When the man said, the time to use condoms, I ain't mean to boast or brag. Them things too small for me, I just use a silent low bag, right? And he dropped this in the gymnasium. And the whole gymnasium went into a frenzy. People take cheers and pelt boat. And we already got them sort of things going on anymore, you know? Because that was a story and it set up the punchlines well and everything. And I realized, man, I can't think of an artist that really doing it like that, no? We know we moles, we stiffies, we brutals, we chieftains, you know, we lead pipe. Oh, they were like,
Yoda, no, you see why I had to wring my hand. I could imagine him out there.
See the story.
So I mean, I tell myself, like, I don't need to be
People from getting scam in Christmas scam, it was so descriptive that you tell yourself like we won't want to get involved in a blessing circle, or we won't want to get involved in catching a bus in afternoon time, because it's like a totally different experience than we would expect.
Don't catch bus in Barbados afternoon time if you can avoid it.
That's what that number go with the Van Days now.
Yeah.
So
a
lot of people may not have known that Van Days actually has an official music video. So you guys should head on over to YouTube, but you're already there.
Yeah.
Check it out after this podcast, okay? Thank you so much. Yeah. Because I was in that, Keita was in that, and what was my role again? Oh yes, the conductor.
11 already, man.
I was in Musty Man. Every time.
But we love you nonetheless, though. You was a proper musty man. You had to be the best, mustiest musty man.
I don't invest too, so nobody was scared.
But yeah, man, so talk to me obviously about that. Van Days.
Recording your first solo music video.
Right.
Oh, yeah, experience.
Yeah, Van Days was a song that I had since 2017. Produced by DBBB Productions, large off Devon for that, and I don't know if I ever spent that long writing a song. I had about 4 or 5 drafts of ideas because I wanted it to be perfect. I never write a song in 3 minutes. Maybe one of these days I might write one, but Unhornable is the fastest song I ever write, but that was like a verse.
It was good to ask you what I am.
Well, we can talk about Unhornable, man.
Yeah, got to.
But Van Days is a song that I took my time, I wrote, I had draft after draft, and I revisit that about 4 or 5 times because it had to be perfect.
Yeah.
When it was done, I didn't know it was done. I know it was like, this is the final product here now. And it get recorded in 2017. It get put up on YouTube, but it was just like an MP3 with a graphic. So, and then they had a NCF event called the Crop Over Reading in 2017. And I performed it at that. And Devon was beating on a cajon, which is like a box drum thing that he's beating front. And the reason why he chose to do it like that was because from experience in the past, which is very helpful. As my music back in the day, I find live it didn't used to get the best rendition because it was a lot of lyrics. And in a live component, if you like put a beat or something, so sometimes you just gotta feed things to Bajans at a certain pace, at a certain rate. And sometimes you just gotta remove the music so Bajans can really hear what you're saying. So from my Asman experience, I realized I had to start crafting my lyrics in a different way for Bajan audiences.
Especially performances.
Yeah.
But Asman is a lot more listening.
Yeah. So for Van Days, I wrote it in such a way where it was well spaced, it wasn't too fast, and the punchlines was like every 4 bars. That was done intentionally so that Bajans could start to get into that rhythm. And when I performed at the reading, I realized it was important to do it with just this. Because people needed to hear it. I had to dramatize it.
That probably would have hit off so clean, boy.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And then I had a bass man too, large off Nick. So Nick was the bass man, so he
Well, that probably come up, especially that environment. People
Yeah.
really listening closely.
And the next reason why I did it like that too is because another issue we used to have when people respond to a punchline and you performing to a track, unless you with a DJ, you gotta keep going.
Yeah.
And you don't get a chance to let people catch yourself. So I tell myself I am not ruining this performance by doing it a standard way. So we had the cajon, we had the bass man, and I was just walking about, dramatizing it like I talking to the audience. And I still got the performance because to this day is the only performance that I ever do that I consider perfect. To this day is the only performance I have ever done that I don't find nothing wrong with it. Like everything I was happy with when I watch it back. And yeah, so it was the way how I drop it and stuff. When I drop a punchline and people keep noise, I would stop, just walk a little bit, and then pick back up for that part and continue. And I would call it a perfect performance if I ever had to label one as such. And I realized that's how I got craft certain things. Like if I was to do Christmas Scam Live, I would probably do it similar to that. Probably got a little quiet in the back room, singing I owe people money to start off, and then, like, yeah, depending upon the venue, cause like if I was gonna do that in my Helios corner, I would put a lot of production elements behind that, lights, you know, all them sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was a classic for sure.
Yeah, man.
I used to go and watch that music video and just thinking like, because being a member of the production, the producer of the music video,
Yeah.
it was fun. Just the day in general when we were recording the video.
For the time I see Toluna, because you know that morning I was a little nervous because, you know, this was my first music video as a solo artist, and I got large off the NCF too for
I was gonna ask.
giving me that grant to produce the content. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was for your Christmas scam, right? Or that
yeah,
was-
them give me funds to produce Christmas Scam, If You Love Them,
Yeah,
which is a song that I love.
I love that too.
Yeah, that might catch on later. And
But B's a Republican over.
uh,
What I gotta do with it, we love him. Them is still bit.
Big man, that was a national song, a song for independence, not so.
oh,
We still got independence.
No, we still got
For you?
Yes.
Well, for you, because they really don't get moved. So I didn't know, like, so you got.
all these songs.
Yeah.
Actually,
You
it's very
know,
expensive.
and on the day, that was my first music video as a solo artist,
Yeah.
so it was important that it went well.
Yeah, that's fun.
And, you know, they had a lucky cup with Yvonne Man and thing,
Yeah.
but for the time when I met Line Man, and I see one of it, I was like, this can be good.
Hmm.
So I said, so done, man, so.
Yeah, enough respect.
Yeah,
is-
that
well,
was-
you done know-
That was more pleasure than you played because
Yeah.
we literally have fun recording that video from start to finish. Right? Time
I
we
hear
contact the
early mornings, but
And that's like the second music video I ever was involved in. I can't remember the name of the first one. But
Oh, sure.
but this one was so good that
I gotta tell
I had like from beginning to end.
I had
it was
a-
Large off scenes.
yeah, scenes on Entourage.
Yeah,
man.
large off
yeah.
scenes who had some input in it and Stronghold Entertainment. And
yeah, that was
Stuff like
that was fun, man.
For real.
yeah.
I had a lot of fun for you.
Yeah,
We had fun.
Yeah,
And it was over quick too, you know, like
yeah,
yeah.
the
It
whole
was
show
great.
happened in one
Yeah.
day.
yeah,
It was a blessing. It was a blessed period, man.
yeah, man.
I can always look upon 2020 fondly and stuff.
It's hard to believe that was 2020, you know.
Yeah.
It feels like if it was the other day, but still, yeah, a good little way, little man.
Yeah.
Look, time really and truly, gonna make the Saints right now for real.
Yeah.
Mash, boy, time just mashed together.
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta say personally, thanks for considering me and Keita to be a part of the video because, you know, artists usually want, what you call it, the higher end names of or people that within the industry to be a part of their videos because that would give
But it's
certain
a high-end name, big man.
Yeah,
Right,
boy.
right, you think so?
Keita 246. Hello.
I love one extra musty. I love one extra musty just for in a vest.
Let me rephrase.
Okay.
thank you for inviting me, Lonely Chad, to come to your music video and play the role of the conductor, because you know me, I like anything like that there. So, but under more circumstances, people like the high-end names.
Yeah.
To give them the marketing for the views and that sort of thing. To people in front of the Gibbs and Chad had a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So I had to make sure that I was enunciating and pronouncing properly.
Yeah.
The reality is, right, Gibbs, things like that, I keep them in the forefront of my brain, and I appreciate them highly, because you yourself are another part of performing arts, which will be voice acting. So we can get into that shortly, because you got some ads on the radio. You got the show with the Central Bank that was on IG alone, or YouTube and IG.
That is YouTube
and IG.
Well, the episodes were on. Yeah, YouTube and IG. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but just the little snippets on IG, but the full video on YouTube.
I remember seeing a full video.
Full videos on IG too.
Oh, well, I just used
Yeah.
to see the snippets. But all I'm saying is, thank you, my friend, for making me a part of your situation, because that's something that I did. You remember the first time when we first started getting to know one another, I asked you the question, Gibbs, how you feel that you got an album? And you said nobody ever asked you that question
Yeah, I just
before.
remember that question.
Go talk to
Just
people them out there. Huh?
Yeah.
He asked me.
Yeah. This would have
This
been
was the
the
second
Yeah, man. I
the
mean,
second one. Yeah, that's when he met Gibbs.
that's a large part of why I feel compelled to keep making music, because I don't think I would have felt comfortable or worthy if I was a newcomer at this age trying to make music for the first time. That kind of way. History is real important, and as fans of sports, want to know that a lot of franchises does build itself on the history. That's what's propelled them forward. You know, like that's why a lot of people look upon PSG as a minnow, because when it get established in like 1970 something, other clubs get established in 1896 and stuff like that. So history is important, and it's made me feel good to know that I can look back and see when I was 23 years old what I did. When I was 20, what I did. Like, as my first song released when I was 20, you know, I didn't feel that we was old at the time, but when I look back on it now, we was children, you know, and the stuff is there, and we was doing it at a time when it wasn't cool to do it. I remember all the pushback and fight we get for songs like Beijing's. And the response used to always get that visceral reaction from Beijing, because Beijing love to hear a Beijing accent, you know. I realized that from school, because at school we used to rap and stuff.
That was sick.
What was he think? Gonna get your money? Gonna spend your money? What is?
Well, I can't remember.
Oh.
Come to Johnny's. Spend your money. Give me your money. That's an inside thing, people. That's
Yeah.
a sweet
A lot
sound.
of inside jokes.
Yeah.
So,
Feel very
Give me your money.
just to give it a little history, when we first started doing this thing, I was 13 years old. And I used to write my little rhymes in my book and thing, and I didn't used to let anybody hear them. But there at school we was bored because we was in some presentation, some had sign on the screen, and we didn't pay attention. And me and Dolly started to make
Wait, let me just throw this. Gonna pay attention at school. Just pay attention at
I don't
school.
think that we got the children
Yeah,
in this job.
You never know.
Yeah, man.
All the week done
And
passing. So
if,
your
and if my
dreams are
son
dead.
and if my son watching, he doesn't know how I was at school too. I didn't used to pay that much attention.
But right,
Yeah.
you and Dottie, right?
Right, so we used to drop little rhymes just for the girls, you know, and they'll like it, and then they will come and bring two friends and be like, say that thing again. And then I realized that this becomes something that I was supposed to provide. Plus, when my mother stopped paying for multi-choice, I can
Big
watch.
up moms,
Yeah,
Big up moms.
yeah, rest in peace, mom.
Rest in peace, the moms, for sure.
And when she
I
stopped,
wanted you to say that. I didn't want to say it.
and when she stopped paying for multi-choice, and nobody wasn't coming to me to find out what happened for SmackDown no more. I was the SmackDown.
It don't all like, boy. It don't all like.
Anything you want over wrestling, come to me. Man used to be like, Gibbs, what happened last night? Man, he rock burst. Chris Jericho last man.
Yeah.
So when I lost multi-choice now, all of a sudden now I didn't have an identity at school. So I said, I gotta get back on top. So I started writing my little,
knives on there as well.
I started writing my little rhymes and thing, you know, about the canteen food,
Right.
you know, about who get catch behind the school or somebody and thing,
No,
no.
shoot, no.
And all of a sudden, no.
That sound like I'm bad then.
Yeah.
Continue. Continue. What you say, George, people?
So that's how it started, man. But the reason I bring up this is because I was a big rap fan at the time. So I used to have my little rap twine going on. But then maybe it was like dropping certain lyrics, the Beijing would come out. And you would get that reaction from people. I felt like I was kind of like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I was like, nah, we gotta purify this product. We gotta make this full Beijing because this don't feel right that 1 minute I switching in and switching out. So then I made it my thing to, or it's just we decided, because it was, you know, 4 we back then from school days. We decided as a group we gotta make this a pure product, like distilled down to the purest Beijing version. And it was hard because a lot of people don't realize this, but freestyling in the Beijing dialect is not easy. We had to literally retrain our brains and reconfigure our brains to process rhymes in the Beijing dialect. And that took years of practice. But then when it was finished, it'd feel like using your left hand to write. I had to keep doing it, and then eventually, like when we was like 19 or so, I feel like we had reached that point where it had become second nature, and that's how we was able to go forward now and start making music, up in the radio and stuff like that. So all that time we was getting a lot of pushback from people, and men would be like, man, this Beijing thing ain't going over here, big man. Like you all try and sound like a Jamaican or something, big man. And I'd be like, Jamaicans is sound like Jamaicans when they sing it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Correct. Without any kind of
Americans is sound like Americans when they're rapping, right?
Correct.
No apology.
Well, guess what's gonna happen? I don't care if I don't make a dollar off of this. We can sound like
No, be
Bajans.
careful.
You understand?
You go careful.
That was it. It makes so much sense to me.
That thing.
Like how one cannot, like how one cannot see the logic behind it. Americans is sound like Americans. Daddy Yankee and Pitbull sound like Puerto Ricans.
Right.
Maxi Priest and Damian Marley sound like Jamaicans, right?
Right.
I using Jamaican slang and them music, right?
Right.
So guess what's gonna happen then? And that was the end of that.
As mine.
And then in 2011, though,
How's mine, you wrong gear?
in 2011, this whole floodgate opened now, and I swear it was like a renaissance because all of a sudden Crimson come out, and in Crimson first song, you know, my large off Asman, and the song man's like bigger Asman. So I was like, who's this man? And he had this song, oh, I'm gonna go be Beijing, I'm gonna go be Beijing. And then Mr. Levi come out with, do something for me, do something for me. And then Crab Soldier come out,
Yeah, boy.
and then Brutal come out.
Right, big up, Rudy.
And then it was just like, and then all of a sudden it was like the Beijing thing was cool. In like 2011, the How Real Man just dropping beer Beijing lyrics and thing.
Right.
And I was like, I can't believe that I lived long enough to see this happen. And I still young. I thought this thing was gonna happen like when I was like 75 or something like that, you know. But I did feel rather about it. And then we just had to stake reclaiming in this Beijing Renaissance, no. So that's pretty much what happened.
So let me ask you this, because you know I asked you this personally, we can ask you this on my podcast, no, because we need the world to know. Do you feel partially or wholly responsible for the cataclysm, the changing of the Beijing mindset towards this sort of music? Because as you said, it was a thing where even seasoned artists that we know, we ain't gonna call nobody name, they sound like a Jamaican artist when they're bringing out a calypso or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you feel like you should be able to be one of them names that's go up on history's page and say, I Gibbzydan and the others were a part of this floodgate opening?
I could definitely say we was part of it because it proved there. To say that we were the cause of it, I don't know, because.
But think of anybody that would have been before you. Who was your inspiration?
My inspiration was Kid Sight,
Okay.
You can like
Right.
kids like
Right, right.
Kids like-
then it's them do Beijing.
Yeah,
straight.
Yeah, kids like regular
But
was.
you know, back then that was the calypso portion of entertainment. So,
But then they were
Them had dub too,
they were
they had
saying,
dub.
oh,
I
you were
didn't
saying
know
dub.
that.
Yeah,
They were based on
Kids
dub.
was a dub artist.
Kids
Kids was
say
a
was
dub
a dub
artist.
I didn't know
artist
that.
Like
first.
Kids
I
Son
didn't
of
know
Mabel,
Kids Son
yeah.
was a dub artist. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
that was his
All of
first
them men
And you know
switched to
half
soca.
and tell me, what that wax great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
You
that's.
know the lyric? ABC, you know the ABC?
No,
And
give
them
them
men,
that.
them Rank here with them men.
Ranking,
Yeah, right.
They men,
Okay.
they men was
Skill.
rough. But
Yeah,
but it was weird because there was a period where it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
You know, there was
sure.
a period
But
where-
that's I guess that's kind of sort of what getting at then.
Yeah.
Because give me the lesson there, so you like reactivate it in my brain. Because I was like, well, yeah, kids, like they sing that song, Lil Rick. Of course, we know Lil Rick, his
history.
origins and everything.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the new age music, which is like we'll be transitioning out of kind of sort of no, because the youngsters now getting fresh influence again from America, trap music, etc.
Yeah.
What we talking about is you. You see, like how you talked about Crime Son and all of these other names.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you if you don't think that you guys were the beginning of that situation and bringing back the love for the Bajan dialect, accent, and delivery.
The reason why I don't want to claim it is because I don't know how popular Asma really was because we did not have social media to gauge the popularity.
Mm.
So you didn't really used to have a way to know who was hearing it. Because you would go somewhere and then if it's only if somebody approach you and tell you I love one of the music, then you would know. There wasn't no metrics or anything to gauge how much people are hearing this stuff.
Mm.
And then we were not really that popular on the radio. A lot of these songs they used to play up on the radio that often. So I don't know
Because
how.
that was during the time when rather than you like to play like a lot of local hip hop or a lot of local, or if you saw it to be a gen on the trap, they didn't want to play a trap.
Exactly.
So
So
then was everything overseas.
so we do most of the groundwork in person, like performances. I remember performing at Bacchanal time with Hans Flat, which
Right.
Mm.
I think arguably is Asma's biggest song, Hans Flat. And you know, so I don't know if I can't ever gauge the impact Asma had on people because there's no way to know.
I feel what you're saying though, but
Yeah.
you know, it's almost like a black man taking the victimization of growing his own hair and wearing it into a place of business
Yeah.
and saying no matter what wanna tell me, no matter what wanna charge me with or try to threaten me with,
Yeah.
my hair is not cutting off. He may not be the person that is out there in the public eye, but because of the little people that would talk about it would start to motivate others. So yeah, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying that you may not be able to say that 20,000 people saw this and heard this music and we were the start of, or well, the continuation of it.
Yeah.
But you guys may have been the group that others look to and say, yo, I want to bring out music like that though. Because like as
Yeah,
you said,
it's
Crimson started
very
his
true.
first song big enough as man, so that
Yeah.
means he had to hear
Well,
that
I
song.
hear.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So, but don't forget, Crimson is who start to pick up that steam now. Maybe
Yeah.
I hear to go where I go, get early go.
Yeah, because we end up
So-
opening at one of his shows, so that would show you how life is work, you know.
Right,
Because he
right.
had a show named My Last 20,
The last 20
and it was at Party Stand.
party style, yeah, I went to.
And we was one of the opening performances at that. And Crime Son was huge back then.
Right. So that's my point. So it's almost like you having a great idea, and then all of a sudden you see what idea out there in a big
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
You understand? So that's
But that's
what
why I decided to continue, because I was like, alright, I can't speak for the rest of the fellas because I don't know where them at in their mind right now, but I was like, there's no way that after working so hard to get this thing into the public domain, and it finally is a thing now, child star in a sense where it's like, you know, with child stars, like how Michael Jackson
Where did
was
the
singing
bicycle?
in the Jackson 5.
Where did the bicycle? So you never forget. You grow
Yeah.
up doing it. So
Right.
you can
Like you can see the history of Michael Jackson, the
Sure.
proof, the proof is there,
Yeah.
you know? So I was like,
man
man, Gibbs,
disappear
man.
out of nowhere. Right.
Yeah, so I was like, Gibbs, man, use trap. Like, they got documented proof of when it all back in 2005 and stuff like that. So you can't just.
Lord, I'm gonna do it.
Somebody got to carry the torch. That's what you see it, man.
But I want to ask you before we wrap up and get on because the time is just
Yeah, time
fly
disappears
in
today.
here.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to ask, and not to carry off, but if Gibbzydan was not this recording artist and stuff like that, what would Gibbzydan be? Who would he be? What you think would be your next? Yeah.
You mean blank?
No, well, I could tell you that I
You don't
do.
record full time, do you?
Huh?
You record full time?
No, I can't say full time. No, that would be nice. I do like acting as well. Maybe I would be an actor. Theater, because I mean, I was in the same plays. I actually was headliner in a play, Tales of Obeah Man, in 2016,
Nice.
alongside Andrew Pilgrim and Barry Williams and stuff. And that really helped me with my performance art too, because the confidence I get from being able to learn all them lines, act against people that are doing this thing. But see, when I was a little boy, to be able to stand next to them on stage and act to a proficient level in front of people every night, people staring in your face, that gave me a confidence that I don't know if I would have had if I didn't do that. Because it proves to me that, because you know what, if unless you do something, you don't know if you could get it done or not.
Yeah.
And the thought of doing a play and memorizing all them lines, and not just lines, but you gotta remember cues, cause like, if Tyrone is supposed to drink from this bottle,
I put it down.
I might go pipe there for he to drink from it. Let me say I'm supposed to poison Tyrone, and I supposed to put this bottle here and walk away. If I forget to put that bottle there, even if I remember my lines,
Yeah, he can't
Yeah,
do
he
his part.
can't.
I can forget Tyrone.
Yeah.
So I had to remember
And he
cues.
actually drink from the bottle.
Yeah, boy. Full poison now.
So you gotta remember cues and lines.
Let me say
Yeah.
this then, because then that branch you off into a lot of different aspects. Because they know like you from there, you like acting, you doing into music, and then you were doing voice acting like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I
You
was
know,
on Santana.
I was no, yes, I know you was on Santana.
Yeah.
I hear you on the radio station, on the radio on ads and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that you into, if anybody want jingle or anything like that, then use the amount of good and so on. So
Yeah.
so I could say
I
for
do
instance,
central mic thing.
and the central mic thing. So voice acting, like it seems like a good direction for you, or this is something that you're looking to get more hands on into in your career now, or
Yeah, for sure, man, because playing Uncle Walter on Santana, he's the first Bajan character on our show.
yeah,
So once again, that'll feel like an honor, because it's a Trinidadian show, I just want to know.
yeah, everybody
So
knows
they got
that.
this Bajan voice now, and then when I looked through the comments, people was like, "That man from Barbados," and that made me feel real good to know that they got a Bajan character on Santana. Yes, he's a perverted old man, but you say that. But I mean, most old men from Barbados is a little pervy when they get
I
ready.
think most old men from everywhere.
So that was an honor of mine, and I want large off Roger, Alexis, the co-creator
Yeah.
and co-owner of Lexo TV, that is producer Santana,
Mhm.
for giving me that opportunity.
Yeah, great.
But
job.
let me say something here. We got David Skinner. David is saying as we go forward, we need some songs that would redirect our young people in a positive way. What do you feel about that is so as an artist? Because I know some artists have a little issue with sometimes being looked upon as a person to say, oh, we should bring up music for this direction or that direction, as opposed to staying true to whom you may be. So how you feel about that?
This is what he wants about that, right? You can do things without announcing that you're doing it. To get people to do something, you don't always gotta tell them to do it. Perfect example. Will Smith is more known as an actor than a rapper.
Right.
But we all know Will Smith started
Started
off
as a
Fresh
rapper.
Prince.
Yeah.
Will Smith always had this thing, he don't curse and he rhymes. And he kind of ostracized himself from the rap community by saying all the time, smart people don't need to curse in the lyrics. And it meant, the man look at he like, okay, well you stand across there then. And I think when Eminem this Will Smith is when it really had an impact, because Eminem was at the peak of hip hop at that time. So when Eminem this, you know, it meant people just, you know,
Yeah.
and for years Will Smith was kind of like at the door begging for people to pay him money. And he would be like, you know, yeah, he's an actor, but he's rap too, And Will Smith had a whole album pretty much bitching about the fact that rap don't take he seriously and all kind of thing. Because he keep pushing this thing about, don't curse. You don't need to curse. You need to be wholesome. But at the end of the day, like, Jay-Z got songs, Nas got songs, even Ludacris got songs that still pushing the positivity. It ain't all the missing.
Right.
But that's the thing. Will Smith kind of went too far with it. He tried to kind of like vilify rap as a whole,
And the irony,
but then he still want to be part of it.
the irony is that he in movies cursing though. That was way funny.
Yeah.
And he in movies and cursing.
But he will argue that that's a script, and that is not from him.
But he can choose.
Yeah, he can choose not to.
It just certain
Yeah.
minutes
Don't
don't
read the
take certain
script.
roles because it does
Exactly.
not resonate with who they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, so-
And when you are an actor, you're supposed to set aside who you are to be this character.
So he should have just
Yeah.
do Beard to the very movies.
Yeah. So my thing is this.
Uh,
Although he movies going cursing, they'll call acrimony, had in real cussing and thing.
hey,
So my thing is, I have no problem with making music that positive for young people.
uh-huh.
But you know how young people think.
Mhm.
You gotta package that a certain way that don't sound preachy.
Yeah.
That don't sound
Yes.
if you trying to
Force him.
tell them what you like is junk
Yeah.
or you living wrong.
Yeah.
So there's like
And they call you on it, you
Yeah.
know, very quickly. So
I'm being in touch with younger people because you know I finished in this degree now, and I so glad that I get to interact with people as 20 and 21 and 19 because that was a good gauge for where the minds of young people at. And young people don't base young people off of white collar crime. And the thing, and the bit is usually saying there because you can feel that Barbados hopeless in terms of the future. But I am here to say, based on the young people that I interact with, we got a bright future in Barbados. These are some very real progressive minded people.
Right.
And I love the fact that they're willing to revisit a lot of things that older people had in place and ask if this really makes sense.
yeah.
I love that about these younger people.
Breaking
They got
barriers.
another question here, Bill.
But before you go into that one, the reality is this, right, though? Negativity does always get a further push than the positivity. So
Yeah.
those persons that you interacting with on a daily basis or whenever you're doing your degree, those will make up what we would think is a minority, you know, but them is actually the majority.
Mm.
It's just the minority
Just
getting
get the push.
more, yeah, because of the, you know, the old time say the empty vessels is making
Yeah, cause
noise.
a video with a young person doing something that makes sense ain't gonna get the same sort of views.
Correct.
Like I remember when I used to do white collar crime, right?
Come on, brother.
For Gibbzy, what advice would you give to a poet looking to get into songwriting? Would you recommend a team or trying to do it yourself?
Boy, I tell you this, I didn't appreciate how much of a gift it is to be able to write your own stuff. I thought when I was growing up, all artists used to write their own songs. So I remember when we was doing interviews on the radio, men would ask, so who's write lyrics for y'all? And I would get pissed. And I would be offended, like, oh, you can ask me, man, who's right for me? I didn't understand that some artists used to get written for.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, it's important to first take stock of your skill level because everybody can write. And this is where having people wrong you that. Constructive but honest. Because some people want this here and met sport at you all the time, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So you gotta find people that constructive but honest to gauge how good you are at writing. You can always get better, but some people naturally more inclined to certain things.
Yeah.
So in terms of that question about having a team, I think a team is a good idea once everybody on the same page. As a poet, to transition from poetry to songwriting, well, that could be challenging because it's a different rhyme scheme, it's a different kind of structure, and everybody can't write a beat the best way. So to answer that person question, I would say try to pair yourself with more seasoned artists. Hopefully you'll find some that willing to give some time because I know it can be very hard as a young person. Well, I don't know how old this person is, but it's very hard as a
Funny
beginner
enough, the person is
to find people to actually
anonymous,
take you
so-
on.
Person anonymous, so I guess it would.
Right. But yeah, try to link with other artists, try to get some honest critical feedback and try to find out where you stand, and if it's all you can think about, and if when you're not doing it you miserable, it means there's probably where you're supposed to be doing.
So what are you doing for this year, though, Gibbs?
Well,
What's your plans?
this year they got a few songs that I want to release.
Any particular season or just releasing?
I got something that I'm real excited about that I had since 2019. It was supposed to release in 2020, but then the pandemic hit. It was for crop over. Keep a lid on it now, because even the name within itself.
Yeah.
Yes, thing.
Yeah.
Oh, tell
You don't
me
gotta
about
tell. Yeah, you don't gotta tell them. You can tell me.
Oh, even you know.
That's where you go on piece of paper.
Yeah. But that is one thing I want to do, and I want to do a video for that.
Oh Lord.
That is
nice,
it.
nice.
So yeah.
Yeah.
When I go to the Bentley phones were refused to be in all the people.
Yeah. Another musty man or?
Nah, that's not my people.
Thank you.
And then they got a song that I actually want to do as well that I really excited about too. I got a next time for you. And
Collaborating with anybody this year?
Huh?
Collaborating with anybody this year?
I'm glad I used to so too, because I reach out to one or two artists already and tell them I want to do something, because collaborations now is another part of this thing as a solo artist. You go collaborate with people. They go, oh, this is people I want to work with. You know? If I end up doing a song with Bruno, so be it.
I feel
Somebody
I
is
feel
asking
too-
your biggest fan. Yes.
Boys are gonna be Jan's favorite artist.
Listen
You're
to
gonna be
me.
the biggest fan.
Brutal and Gibbzydan on a song. I can only see magic happening. Is if you would be able to get over into his lane, cause I know his lane is a more like a lot more thing.
Yeah, man, but you see, I ain't established my. That's why, I sorry we ain't got more time. That's why I do 20 tours with it, because I didn't want people to think that I is this saintly
right.
Barbadian patriot, whereas like I only met songs about Barbados and Green Monkeys, right?
But on Horrible Show, we die. You doing?
I know, but you gotta make a this song at least once every 2 years, because
It's the science. Everybody knows the science, man.
it's gonna renew your company just when it comes to this song.
Yeah, it's true.
So I met 20 tours to show people, listen, I am PG, I can dabble in different things,
Right.
so it's done.
You
So
can
20
dabble.
tours.
Dabble.
Yeah.
But actually, funny enough, one of the questions that we have coming from the live stream is, what do you think is needed to further elevate the Bajan genre and the industry? So, what do you think we need to do to really push this Bajan?
Well, what
Lord.
I think we need to do is just keep doing songs with the Bajan dialect, which is not a problem right now.
Correct.
But if you want to do a little rock, we just gotta make sure that whatever we do, it's on Bajan.
Bajan.
Different subjects. They got a lot of different topics we ain't touched on yet, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you can't sing with horn in and whooping all the time, man, you know?
You know, you said go on topics that we haven't touched on. I know you time money, but the actual title of the discussion tonight, we never got to it.
I mean,
I could have been a stripper.
They could have been.
I lost as to what I mean.
I thought that was some kind of story that was to be told.
No.
No.
Wait, it's really be for us to really say, well, how we
I
say
think it was
it is.
just a link to be provocative to
get
bring people
people on?
towards the actual.
Yeah, be a switch.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know if things were so hard during the pandemic that you wanted
Whatever you
to
want.
but
could be a stripper.
yeah, I didn't know if things were so hard that you able to start when the fans were saying, but you know, like life is hit people
Hard,
differently.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Life is coming out your fast. You know?
And
But-
speaking about life,
But no, I see. So what are you saying, John? So what are you saying?
no, and speaking about life, how you feel since Becky White passed?
Wow.
What?
I feel bad. What are we talking about? This
But Gibbs, what you feel bad?
I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this for you.
Why you didn't feel bad when Tony started, Daddy?
Look, folks.
We are not using the last few minutes of this thing. But when I see that picture up there though, the 61Ms, I don't know if one was gonna answer any questions about
I
that.
actually wanted to ask a few because I started
Ask the
this
questions, man. The people
concept
listening.
of 61Ms and the sort of effort it takes to create a video or a clip like that. It is amazing. And they want to know, like, when you, because they know that was like a short term, like somebody will tag you in there and you go complete it within a certain amount of time and so on.
Yeah.
Like, how difficult that was to maneuver.
That almost sent me mad. Cause I worked with that for like a week and a half straight. And Shakira used to be like, what you doing? Cause I was just locked by myself in a room. And they got beer paper on me and they like, beer and words.
You gotta put, for folks that don't know, you gotta put 61 words that begin with M
In a verse.
And it gonna make sense to some extent.
And to not cheat, I set an extra challenge to myself to not repeat any words. Because you could keep saying my, me, and kind of cut it. But I was like, nah. So I had things right out with red marker, and for every word I had, it had a number next to it, so I could keep count.
Right.
And then just stick it all over the room. Yeah, big man, it was madness. And then
this is a track. Singing 6 lines.
You use the word.
It ain't complete for you and them done, but
I think
Donnie tagged me in it.
He's who started?
Nah. Somebody started.
Or somebody.
A man named Rizzy Vito, big up Rizzy Vito, is who came up with the challenge. Cause he's a local rapper.
Okay.
Hard. And he didn't know me like that, so he didn't tag me automatically.
He young.
Nah, Rizzy probably a little older than me, I think.
Okay.
But he a lot of different artists like Jamaica do one. Jamaica do one and a few other people. So Dottie had tagged me in it, and I watched Dottie and I was like, huh. And he's a very competitive fellow.
Yeah.
We can't even get in it already, you know. So when I see a former group member of mine tag me, so they know that I ain't gonna respond.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I went and I do my thing, and I said I gotta make a video for this because Dottie had a video. Luckily, because of this degree that I doing in media and journalism now, I start messing around with Premiere Pro editing software. So I said, I can do this video myself. So I conceptualize it, picture how I want to do it, and I said I can stamp on a white wall, and I can shoot this in black and white, and all the end words gonna be in red. And I would love how it come out. It take a whole day to get edit, and I was proud of it, man, because I never had to do nothing like that before, where I just use it in words in a verse. That whole sequence, because they go all good some of it. So that was a real challenging, man. Like I ain't even gonna front one up.
That'll show you the technical ability of an artist.
Yeah.
I love challenges, man, because they had a Fireman challenge too. Fireman. You had to record a verse by your candle in the dark, and when you done, blow it out.
I think I did see that. You know, that wasn't the time when we was locked down for Joe. That
Yeah,
was
it was
during-
locked down.
Yeah. No, I remember for Joe.
So every year,
So long
Yes,
ago.
yeah. So every year, I just look for a different challenge, and I just hope somebody tag me a sign. And
I got a challenge here for you. No,
what was that?
Keita give me $20 earlier. You should give me $50.
Yeah, well, how much time you got left?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Time out.
Let me say this.
You gotta come back.
I want to say a big thank you for everybody that logged in and asked Gibbsy questions.
Yeah, thanks for all the questions. Really appreciate
You
it.
can follow Gibbsy on social media at Gibbzydan on more social media.
On everything. Gibbzydan on Facebook,
YouTube,
Instagram.
Everything.
I ain't tweet
Twitter?
since 2012.
But you got to the
And his name is Dwayne, by the way.
But his name is Gibbzydan. So we're working with Gibbzydan. Thanks for coming through my podcast. For sure.
Yeah, you don't know. We appreciate you 110%, Gibbs.
We support it for sure.
Let me see if we can get some permission from Alry Media Production. Mr. Production, you could let the people know the intro. No, sorry, I can't tell you guys anything. So I guess when that is ready, you guys will know about it. But we want to say a big thank you for Gibbs finding some time to come through to the podcast, having a conversation / interviewing process, finding out what's going on with him this year, in the past, what we got for the future, and so on and so forth. Gibbs, yet again, thank you for being a part. Thank you for also being a consistent person with any podcast. Opinion on that. Gibbs, thank you yet again for coming through.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more interviews, not only with you, but with some other people that we have in mind for the show. I'm looking forward to this music video too.
Yeah.
So let me make things happen. And just one more question before we go. Wait, is that you don't want the LB get back in?
It's ready for the season, boys. It's so silly.
Let me cut off the cameras. Thank you so much, people, as usual. This was the Up and Say Your podcast. We're going to be back here again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Make sure that I want to know and tune in. Make a rip sounds too. So, cut me in there.